Hey, welcome back. If you've clicked on this video without watching this video, I really recommend going to watch that first. I'll have it linked down in the description and also in the cards. Is it this side? I feel like it's this side. I might be wrong. But go and check that one out first and then come back and watch this one, because in that one I do the chopping up of my Monstera, and in this one we are doing the potting up. If you've already watched that one, thank you so much for coming back to watch this video. So I filmed that video on Friday and today is Sunday, and honestly I've really not done very much. So I think the last clip at the end of that video is me showing you how I had like precariously balanced all three of the cuttings, like one literally on top of the base plant and then two kind of just in a wicker basket kind of situation. They stayed like that for a little while, and then, well, actually they stayed like that overnight, and then on Saturday morning I moved them into the bathroom so that I could spray them with the shower. So I made like got all the dust off the leaves and just got some like damp water. I got the aerials. Oh, it's gonna be one of those days. I got the aerial roots kind of damp just so that it would have like a little bit of moisture. Yeah, and I left it in the bathroom with my Mother Life grow light on because my bathroom doesn't have any windows. So that was kind of where it was all Saturday, and then Saturday night, so last night, it was just, I mean, you can see this cutting was here, this cutting was back in the wicker basket situation, and then the larger cutting was literally just laid on the sofa, this bit here, just laid on the sofa next to me. And that happened because I just didn't have any vessels that would house the new cuttings. So yesterday I went out and bought this one, which I'm thinking I want to put the two smaller cuttings, so the cuttings with 2 leaves and then the cutting with 3 leaves together. And then this morning I ran out to houseplants and I got this vase, which is pretty big, to house the larger cutting on its own. I was really struggling to find like a big enough vase for that one, because if I can help it, I don't want to lose the lower leaf. I'm aware that it might come off anyway. But the way that they're growing, like a lot of the vase shapes were like dead straight or like even curved in, and I needed one that had a wider top because of the way the leaves are growing. This was the only one I could find. I don't particularly like the shape, but I think it will do. And at one point I was like, why am I not just putting them in a normal pot? But there's like I've got a real resistance now to not being able to see the roots of my plants. So I didn't want to just put it in like a ceramic pot, because obviously like a ceramic pot, like it needed to be like a certain size so that it could hold the weight of the plant, and a ceramic pot would be weightier, so it would like weigh it down a little bit more, so that would have been better. But I've never potted directly into a ceramic pot, and I don't want to start now. So I was specifically looking for a glass vessel, because I feel comfortable potting in glass with no drainage when I can see my roots. So let's just get to it, shall we? I'm going to start with the 2 smaller ones and save the bigger one till last. I'm a little bit worried. So both this vase and this one have the little like cute bottom bit, and I was like, oh, like a leca layer could hang out in there. That could be a nice bit of like a water reservoir, like that'll work well, that'd be nice. And I don't know if I've got enough leca, so I've rinsed off all my leca. It was a Soil Ninja leca, and I've rinsed it because it was like the last bit, it was really dusty. But it might be that I have to like add something to the leca to get it to go into both of these vessels. Or could this be enough? This is literally all I've got, but that's such a big... Maybe I need to put the leca in first into both of them to know. Let's do that first. So leca layer in this one and a leca layer in this one. So let's get to potting, shall we? Okay, how do I want to have you so that you can see what I'm doing? Did you notice that the mother plant, the base of my Monstera, is no longer there? It used to sit in that gap. So on Friday, I've got major pins and needles. Wow. So on Friday I messaged my friend, I'd consider her a friend. Her name's Katie, she's the lady that does my tattoos, and I messaged her asking her if she was interested in the base. I know she said to me before that she really wants a massive Monstera, and in the past we've done like some trades, like some plants for like a little bit of tattoo time, and I was like, I wonder if Katie wants it. Like, it was a big plant to take, like. So I messaged her and she said that yeah, she did want it, and I also had some other plants that I was planning on kind of passing on or maybe trying to sell, or like, so I just gave her a bundle of 8 plants including the base of my Monstera, and she is going to give me a bit of tattoo time, which I think is a great trade. Anyway, I just thought I should probably mention, if you have noticed, there's a big old gap there. So let's get to actually potting up these cuttings, and I am nervous that they've not been in anything. Like, I'm a bit worried that they're gonna like abort the leaves that they might have been working on, or I don't know. I guess I probably shouldn't expect anything from any of them for a while they root and settle in. So Substrate. I really didn't know what I was going to do with Substrate. Obviously I'm going to be planting them. I did think about water rooting them, but I just don't want to. So I'm going to just plant them up and hope that the aerial roots grow soil roots, essentially. Fingers crossed. I haven't got a whole lot of soil, so I'm going to mix some up now, and I'm just going to use what I've got. So I've got some of the terrarium substrate mix from Soil Ninja. I'm going to put some of that in. What's in here already is some terrarium mix. There's a stick. There's cocoa husk leca, some old moss, some pumice, zeolite, bark, a whole host of things, and I'm basically just going to make more of it. I did consider ordering some of the philodendron and Monstera substrate mix for these cuttings, but I didn't want them to be out of substrate for any longer than they already have been, so I've just happened to use what I've got. This is the semi-hydro, the coarse sprayed. Some more bark. This is pumice. Zeolite. And I'm also going to put in some of the, this isn't Soil Ninja obviously, this is vermiculite. Soil Ninja do vermiculite, I just happened to pick it up in a garden centre while I was there. Really got pins and needles, wow. Right, this is what I've got so far. It's about this full. I think it's going to be enough for this one, but let's just... It's just not going to be enough, is it? But this is all I have. I need to make this stuff stretch as far as I can. I'm going to add some more bark. Okay. Oh, it smells great. I think I'm just going to go with it for now. So, when I was fiddling around with the like positioning, there was a spot when both this cutting and this cutting looked quite nice together in this vessel. So I'm going to try and recreate that. Do you know what's actually really hard is getting the like aerial roots to kind of bend into the vase and not snap. There's been a few like snaps, and there's definitely been a few kind of bends, but no kind of cracks. Like I don't mind if there's like a bit of a kind of a bend and it's all still attached, like I think the aerial root will recover, but when it's like fully snapped, I don't want that hanging out in the soil really. But if it happens, it happens. It'll just die, I guess. But I think I put the one with the free leaves in first. I feel nervous. Like I feel like this whole thing I've just been nervous. Like, is this? It's okay. Like I'm really worried that now they're not gonna like root very well. Or like I said at the beginning, that they're gonna like abort some growth. I don't know. And what I haven't thought about is like poles and things. Like I don't know if I want to give it a moss pole or if I just, like it was just on like a bamboo trellis before, so I'll probably just end up sticking one of those in at some point, but not today. Okay, right, I'm going to show you like, this is what there's such a glare, sorry. This is what the aerial roots are looking like currently. They are all skew-with and bent at weird positions, but that's kind of what we're working with, I think. And so I can get this one in too. This one has much shorter, this is one with the shorter aerial roots. And I'm pretty sure it kind of like sat and kind of slightly under. Ooh, don't break. Okay, I'm sorry, I'm gonna need to look at it. Okay, yeah, I think it is like that. Okay, so I'm just gonna start putting some soil in actually around this one. Ooh. And try and get it to kind of be positioned kind of where I want it to, which is like here. Oh, I just, these leaves. Like it would have been really good if I could get the leca up higher. I really wasn't prepared for this at all. It was like I'd been thinking about it for a year and a half, decided yes, I'm gonna do it, and then just did it and didn't prepare. Such a twit. Okay, I think that's this one done. I'm going to put a little bit of moss on top, kind of around the tops of the stems, partly to protect one bit of it from the glass, so I'll show you what I mean. So this section of this stem is where the new leaf will come out of. See up here? And I don't want it to be pushing against it, so I'm going to add like a bit of moss as like a cushion kind of thing. Yeah. A little moss cushion. Okay, that's the first one done. I'm going to take a bit of a break because you've probably heard my husband is chopping his vegetables for his dinner. So I'm going to just take a little break and I will do the next one after he's finished cooking. Hey, I'm back. So while the camera was off, I refilled my soil. I'm not completely sure if it's going to be enough to fill the vessel, but we will see. I am completely out of like actual soil bits. So like the terrarium substrate has worm castings in it. So I've got nothing that was like an actual kind of soil worm castings kind of component anymore. So I'll only be able to add things that are going to make it more and more chunky, if that makes sense. But we'll just see. We'll see how we go. I realised while I was taking a little break just then that I didn't check the stem of that cutting. You remember like the black bit? I can't remember if this one had it on it. This one's so much bigger. So I can show you this stem. And it does have like, the other one was worse. It's darker. But I don't think I'm worried about it. I don't think there's anything I need to worry about. I think it is just from where it's kind of corked on the outside. I mean, as I said in the other video, if I'm wrong, then let me know. I can actually see, God. I can see the beginning of, where did it go? It's like that. This here is the beginning of a new aerial root, so that's exciting. So hopefully hopefully that'll just continue to grow and turn into a soil root. So I'm going to try and get it into the vessel now. The problem is going to be this long aerial root. I might end up having to chop it. I don't want to do that, but it might have to happen. I'm going to try and get that in there first and rabble it round. And then try and get the other ones in as well. Oh, okay. Oh, my arm's aching. Okay. I'm gonna need to like really put some stress on the petioles. That was another thing I was thinking of when I was getting the vessels. I wanted them to be like a sturdy glass because they're gonna be holding up the bottom two petioles, kind of forcing them into a different position a little bit, and I didn't want the pressure to cause the glass to smash. Okay, you can see a little bit better if I angle it this way, right? So I'm gonna hold it. It's this petiole that's bending, and this one I would like to bend, but it's a little bit harder to keep it in position, and I don't know if it will be able to do that, to be completely honest, without all the soil, because it's really trying to bounce back. But maybe I'll just start putting soil in and see how far we get. Crazy, I'll just tip it in, couldn't I? But I'm gonna have to just scoop it. Already making a mess. I'm so worried this is gonna fail. I really don't want to lose it. Really, really don't want to lose it. I think I already need to put more substrate in that box and it's kind of tipping. It's not going to hold itself up in there yet. Oh, that works. Okay. I've added a zip tie to the leaf that was really like pushing out, so like the second leaf on the stem, not the first one. And what I'm going to do now is empty some of this back into here somehow, because it's getting so chunky that I don't want it to be that chunky. Okay, I added a zip tie to this leaf to try and get it into a better position. I will show you that in a minute. And I also emptied out some of the substrate from the vessel back into my substrate box to mix it all in, because I was definitely going to run out and it was just getting so chunky. I wanted a little bit more of the kind of substance from this one in there, so we're kind of starting again. Let's do it. I think I'm done. Oh, I hate the sound of like the glass and like a bit of perlite or something like scratching against, well, not perlite, pumice. Ooh, goes right through me. I'm gonna add a little bit of moss to the top. There's an aerial root that isn't quite in the substrate, so I just want to try and cover that one a little bit, just a little bit. I'm also under no illusion that I'm going to keep this moss damp, so it's not really going to do anything for very long, but I don't know, it's something I want to do, so you need to do it just to give it, I don't know, a little cushioning. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Right, I'm gonna try and get them positioned and then I will water them and show you kind of what it's looking like. Kind of like a before and after of what it looked like before and what it's looking like after. I'm having some real issues with finding a suitable layout for them. So you can see I've got this guy set up behind the TV and I really like the way it looks. That's the two cuttings put together. I cannot find a way for them to sit nicely together, like this one and the 4-leaf cutting. I'm really struggling to make it work. Okay, I think this is the after, I think. So this one is the one with the 2 smaller cuttings in, and this one is the larger one. I've actually zip tied, so this leaf here was hanging down here, which is why it looked weird. So I've zip tied it up to a bamboo stake. And if I'm completely honest with you, I'm actually considering chopping this one off. Just because I feel like if that wasn't there, and then if this leaf turned slightly to face this way, it would look good. But can you tell that that's the perfectionist in me? Yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna end the video. Okay, I'm gonna end the video there. I think they look okay. I think I'm happy with them. If anything changes, you will of course be updated. So if you're not already, be sure to subscribe so that you don't miss those updates. If you enjoyed seeing me wrestle with these plants, give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!